The first time I saw her, she was half-broken and covered in alien dust. Commander Vale of the Karathi Guard, a warrior race feared across half the known galaxy, was not supposed to look fragile. Her people were towering, genetically sculpted fighters whose culture valued strength above all else. And yet, there she was, sitting on a damaged transport ship in the repair bay of the human outpost, her battle armor shattered, sparking, and dripping with hydraulic gel. I wasn't a soldier, just a mechanic. A grease-stained nobody with a knack for fixing things other people wrote off as junk. That's probably why they tossed her case to me. Keep her alive long enough to patch the armor, the duty officer muttered, dumping her in my bay. Don't annoy her and don't touch anything you don't understand. She could break you in half. No pressure. Beginning. The task no human wanted. Her armor was a nightmare of alien engineering. Layered alloys I'd never seen, neural-linked control fibers threaded into the plating, and a fusion core that hummed like a living heart. Whoever designed it hadn't bothered to make it friendly for human hands. I approached slowly, toolkit in hand. Her eyes tracked me, glowing faintly amber under the cracked visor. The air seemed to vibrate with her presence. "You are the repairer?" she asked, her voice low and edged like a blade. "Mechanic," I corrected, trying not to sound nervous. "Name's Carter. I fix what's broken. That includes alienwarrior armor." Her gaze didn't waver. "Do not fail me, Carter. If my armor dies, I die with it." "Good pep talk," I muttered under my breath, kneeling beside her. My hands hovered over the cracked chest plate, sensors fried, and conduits leaking. The closer I looked, the more it felt less like armor and more like a living exoskeleton. She watched me work. Every click of a tool echoed in the tense silence. Her breathing slowed, controlled. I could feel her suspicion radiating off her, the way you feel heat from an engine. Then, as I slid a cable into place and adjusted the neural link node, her shoulders stiffened. "You're touching me too softly," she said, voice sharper now. I froze, my hands still on the armor's interface. Excuse me?" "Your hands," she clarified, staring down at me. "They move as though I am glass. I am a warrior of the Karathi. We do not break." I swallowed hard. "Yeah, but your gear does. And if I'm not careful, so do you." Her lips curved, almost a smirk. Middle. The connection neither expected. I worked for hours, carefully mending ruptured circuits, welding armor seams, and coaxing life back into the core. Vale didn't flinch at the sparks or the occasional surge of current across her skin. If anything, she seemed curious about me, about the way I worked, how precise my hands were despite the weight of her scrutiny. At one point, she asked, "Why do humans care so much for gentleness?" "It seems inefficient." I set down the welding tool, wiping sweat from my brow. "Because not everything needs force. Sometimes what's fragile matters more than what's strong. You don't pound a flower into blooming. You don't smash a lock when you can pick it. Same with armor or people." She tilted her head, considering that. Strange philosophy for a species that fights so much. "Yeah," I said, meeting her gaze. "Maybe that's why we fight so hard to remember gentleness." For the first time, her expression softened. The mask of a soldier cracked just a little. Hours passed. My hands traced the filigree of her armor's neural fibers, reconnecting lines that pulsed faintly with her heartbeat. Every time I brushed against the inner mesh, she inhaled slightly, a sound so subtle I almost missed it. "Still too soft for you?" I asked lightly, trying to break the tension. Her eyes locked on mine. "It is different, not unwelcome. The way you touch this armor, it feels as though you touch me." I froze, heat rising to my face. Maybe because the damn thing's practically wired into you. Yes, she murmured, almost to herself. And yet, no one in my clan ever treated it, or me, so carefully. The words hung in the air between us, heavier than the tools in my hands. Middle rising, a threat beyond the bay. Just as I finished stabilizing the core, alarms blared across the station. Red lights flashed, klaxons howled. Incoming hostiles. The comm crackled. Raiders breaching docking bay 2. All units respond. I cursed, snapping my kit shut. Of course. Because this day wasn't hard enough already. Vale pushed herself upright, testing her armor. Sparks crackled, but it held together under her weight. Her stance was unshakable, even wounded. You will remain here, she ordered, voice cold steel once more. This is not your fight. Like hell, I shot back. If the raiders breach this bay, we're both scrap metal. You need me to keep that armor running. Her amber eyes flared. For a heartbeat, I thought she'd argue. Instead, she gave a short nod. Then stay close, human. The doors exploded inward. Raiders, cybernetically enhanced pirates from the outer rim, poured into the bay, weapons blazing. Vale surged forward, a blur of metal and fury, her repaired armor holding strong. She fought like a storm given flesh, each strike calculated, devastating. But I could see the weak points still flickering, parts of the armor I hadn't fully reinforced. If they broke, so would she. I grabbed a plasma cutter, ducking behind crates, patching lines on her armor in the middle of battle. She fought, I fixed. Sparks and blood sprayed around us, chaos and rhythm entwined. At one point, as I reconnected a power conduit along her side, my hand brushed against her ribcage beneath the plating. She didn't flinch. Instead, she whispered through the carnage. Still too soft, Carter? Just enough, I shot back, forcing the line into place. Climax, the bond forged in fire. The raiders fell one by one, but their leader, a hulking brute clad in stolen military exogear, charged Vale head-on. Their clash shook the bay, steel against steel, sparks raining like meteors. Her armor's right arm began to fail, hydraulics hissing. I sprinted to her side, sliding under cover as the brute swung a hammer down. Buy me 3 seconds, I shouted. She gritted her teeth, blocking with her left arm, muscles straining. Do it. My hands worked frantically, rerouting power, welding lines, fingers burning from heat. Every touch mattered, every second stretched eternity. Finally, the systems roared back to life. Now, I yelled. With a roar, Vale unleashed the full might of her armor, her strike cleaving through the brute's exosuit. He collapsed in a smoking heap. The rest of the raiders fled. Silence fell over the bay, broken only by our heavy breaths. Vale turned to me, her chest rising and falling, amber eyes blazing with something I hadn't seen before. Not suspicion. Not hostility. Something warmer. You fight like an engineer, she said softly. Precise. Relentless. And you fight like a storm, I replied, my voice rough. For a long moment, we just stood there, the wreckage of battle around us, the hum of her repaired armor between us. Ending, a warrior's choice. Later, when the bay was cleared and the medics arrived, I stayed behind to finish stabilizing her systems. She didn't stop me. If anything, she leaned closer, letting me trace the last connections. When I finished, I pulled back, expecting her to stride away like warriors always did. Instead, she caught my wrist,